Good evening, everyone. I am Arusta. I am joined here in the commentary booth by Goku Black 9974, and we will be watching some Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer. How are you doing today, Goku? Commentary booth.
Going good, man. So we got some draft going. It's basically Ultra League without any other objectives other than Final Kivka unlock, and the draft flags that go along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to explain a little bit more about the how this draft works is it's actually a preview of the upcoming event, which is called the Blackjack, basically. So what this upcoming event is, we'll go into a bit more detail, is that effectively our runners, in this case, Nobody War, Shadow Sid, and One Free Fitz, three very experienced runners in the Worlds Collide community, each draft, I think it's 4 cards each. Basically, they rotate, almost like a fantasy football draft or anything like that. And there are various cards that let them change the settings. So, like, for example, one thing you can see right now on Shadow Sid's side is there's plus 20 magic power if you defeat 4 dragons. So that's a card where someone looked and said, you know what? Of my 3 options that I can pick this round, I like that. Let's add that as an objective.
Yeah, definitely something that might actually come into play here, depending on the characters that we get. I believe we are starting with Celeste. Is that right?
Yes, so they will be starting with Celeste. Some of the other changes are that, and this is Nobody War's first pick actually, characters will be able to equip everything. So every character can equip everything, which is a bit freer than even normal randomizer and much freer than the vanilla game. Spells are slightly more expensive than they would originally be, 125 to 175%. You start with tons of money and tools and Phoenix Downs and Warp Stones. You start with Celeste, which is your one guaranteed character, and then they have 3 total characters, so we have no idea who the others 2 will be. There's Magic Power Boost, as we mentioned before. One of the other characters, is actually also going to be Edgar with Jump, so they know that we'll have a jump, and so maybe they'll probably be looking out for a Dragoon suit, which as another objective you can get by doing 2 dragons. The dragons, however, will be stronger. They have plus 10 levels. And then one other interesting thing is the experience rewards are slightly less than they are in normal Ultras League seeds. Typically, that's about 2.5 times experience or 3 times experience. Here, it's just double normal experience from the vanilla game. So they might be slightly lower level going through things or have to take a few extra fights, all that. So some interesting thoughts. There is one thing that the draft does is it lists off like what the difficulty is compared to, if you get a bunch of cards where you make the thing super easy, or you get a bunch of cards where you make it, hey, let's make this murderous. Flag set is estimated to be average difficulty. I have no idea how accurate that is, but looks like it. What do you think about the flags, Goku?
I think we're definitely going to be seeing a Dragoon set with Edgar, and I think depending on what other characters we get, we might see some interesting plays as well.
Absolutely. And just in case people aren't too familiar with what we're doing here, this is Randomizer of Final Fantasy VI called Worlds Collide. It's ff6worldscollide.com. Effectively, what you have is the way your characters have is, their checks. So like we say, we're starting with Celeste. If you remember vanilla game, she was involved with the Magitech factory. So that's one of her checks. You can go there and get a character or an Esper, or maybe just an item. Hopefully you're hoping for a character or an Esper. Edgar did was originally picked up in the vanilla game off the throne at the castle. So again, there's a specific item there that you can get. So, that's sort of how this works. It's something that all 3 of our runners here, Nobody War, Shadow Sid, and One Free Fitz, have all been around the community for quite a while, so we should see some really good gameplay here.
Yeah, and just to point of reference, the 3rd Magitech check is always guaranteed to be either a character or an Esper, so if our runners are backed up against a corner and need a character, that is a possibility in the pool.
Absolutely, and the intent behind this, so this, of course, is a community race, and one thing we're showing off here is mention it very briefly. There is an upcoming tournament called the Blackjack Battle Royale. So there's a bot basically that does some of these drafts, and so for every round of the tournament, there's going to be basically the people in that group stage are going to have their own little group, and they're going to each draft every single week flags. There's a lot more details available. Can't go through all of it here. Short version is that the most important part, registration, is March 26th to April 2nd. So that's, I believe, this Sunday, I believe, through the following Sunday. And then the opening gala, which is an async race that, for seeding purposes, one async race is the following week. So the week from April 2nd, Sunday the 2nd to Sunday the 9th. And then after that, we go into groups and then brackets, groups and stuff from there. So, if you see like what you see, definitely go ahead and register. It's something with the way the draft works. This is definitely something that, if you're new to the community, maybe you saw Ultros League and you're like, man, people are really good here. People are still going to be really good. Can't say that's going to change, of course. But with the way that the flags change every week, it's going to really, I think, level the playing field a little bit and, give people a chance to, hey, let's figure out what's going on. Different strategies going to vary week to week. So there's not going to be people who are super expert and right off the bat going to just be killers. So I think it should be a really interesting time.
Yeah, so considering it levels the playing field because there's different flags picked every single week. Definitely recommend joining, even if you are, especially if you're new. It's a fun little randomizer, and we'd love to have you.
Absolutely, and part of the thing is that everybody on the table gets to pick. It's not just the winner of the previous week or anything like that. So if you're feeling a little less confident, maybe you see, hey, I'd like to take a card where I get plenty of levels. So you can make the seeds easier on yourself if you want.
And we are starting with a Terra, Natural Magic Terra. That's pretty good. And we are seeing our first plays already.
Yeah, an interesting thing here is that Nobody War appears to be going to do Edgar's check, which I think we mentioned it. They start with a lot of money, and Edgar here, as you may know from the vanilla game, there's a check here, but then all the shops here are 50% off because you can't charge money from the king. So, this is a really good play with a ton of money. Maybe you get some discounts on something very useful for the seed.
And, Sortex Cyan, let's go. So why don't you tell us what that Cyan just opened up?
So that Cyan opened up several checks. The most well-known of them is the Doma Dream, which is 3 separate checks all in one, basically the vanilla game in the world of Rune. It also opened up Doma Castle in the world of Balance, which is where you normally pick up Cyan. In Sabin's scenario, that's a very quick check that people like to do. And then Mount Zozo, which has 1 dragon and a check, which we mentioned before. Dragons might be very important with the way these flags help out. So
yeah, definitely opened up quite a few things, and that is an offering inside World of Balance Nars. Oh, baby, that's spicy in that shop. Baby.
Yeah, that is very nice to get, especially since with some of the flags here, as we mentioned, you can equip anything. So if they find like a Valiant Knife or an Atma weapon, you're going to have someone who can equip it, and you're going to have flexibility on whoever you think would be best to hold it.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely helps. We are seeing some neat plays. Let's see what Zen Thief's gonna have though. It's not. Oh, it's a Force Armor. That's actually pretty good. We're gonna check
one interesting thing is I saw Shadow Sid pick up an Ice Shield in a box. The magic in this seed I think costs between 125 and 175% of what it normally does. So we'll see how much that Ice 2 that he learns is going to cost, because MP is going to be a serious resource to consider here in this race.
Yeah, especially since one thing to note is they actually get slightly fewer magic points than we typically get in a Worlds Collide seed. Still more than vanilla, but not as much as normal. So learning those spells might take a little longer than normal too.
Yeah, we are... Now we're seeing, we're We're seeing Nobody War now going into World of Ruin. Figaro.
Yeah, one thing to note here is that I believe Edgar also gets a discount in World of Rune Figaro, South Figaro, not World of Balance. So with all that money,
that is correct. That is very correct.
Yes, that money might pay off here as well if you find something you really like.
There were earrings. That is something to consider. Oh, a Thunder Rod get picked up by Fitz. Gotta love that empty chest, right?
Especially that one where it had to deal with the trolley NPC to get to it.
Yeah. Sometimes the randomizer just does that, and it's just hilarious to see sometimes. Oh, we found snipers for sale. Are we gonna pick a few up? We are. We're gonna pick a few up.
Yeah, that is very nice, because one thing that is not obvious from a casual playthrough is a surprising amount of enemies are weak to sniper, including some of the final bosses.
Well, it's just because sniper throws so good. We get a Bahamut. I'm trying to keep up. There's 3 screens.
Yeah, and there's also a Pearl Lance in that shop, but did not pick it up. It makes sense that you probably didn't want to pick it up now, because one of the picks was called Dragon's Raiment, where you actually, if you kill 2 dragons, you get a full Dragoon suit yourself. So, for 50,000, maybe you want to just save that money and figure you're gonna run across a Lance anyways for your jump Edgar.
Yeah, that's very true. Also seeing probably going to be double into the sealed gate as well.
Yeah, and one thing that they did pick up, I would expect Nobody War to do that as well, because there's a lot of checks here. One thing that was specifically notable was a hero ring, which is very nice. It's basically earrings plus Atlas Armlet all at once, so it's a very nice use of relic spot, 25% damage boost.
That is a strength +2 Esper. That's big.
Yeah, and throwing it right on Edgar, which makes perfect sense, because you already know with him having jump that you're going to do it. You're going to basically turn him into a killer, physical fighter, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, just stick that on Edgar and just have him kill things. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, and that's something that's really nice to be able to get your ideas early on and sort of figure out, hey, here's what I want to do with each character. The sooner you can figure it out, the sooner you can make sure to optimize long term.
I'm surprised that we didn't see a sword tech, that we didn't see a Oh, we're getting destroyed here. I'm surprised that we didn't see that going on to Cyan for the long term.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible, because Cyan with sword tech, as our tracker Schwantz is pointing out in chat, definitely very useful. Yeah. But I think, maybe it's just that Nobody War assumes you're going to find what you need for a Dragoon, so you want to just make sure he's up to speed.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. But just normally you get a sword tech, and then most of the time you do get that. But yeah, we're not actually guaranteed to have sword tech 7 in the seed.
Yes, because one thing that's worth noting is that in Ultros League flags, you can basically defeat Cyan's Dream and you automatically get Sword Tech 8. That is not the case here. Sword Tech 8, I believe, is level 70, and Sword Tech 7 is mid-40s, so you may or may not reach that.
Yeah, so that is worth noting as well. Uh, Sword Tech 7, I think it's like 44?
That sounds about right. And with the way the flags play out with reduced experience, in a normal seed that'd already be kind of right at the level you'll probably end at, but in a seed like this, you may or may not with reduced experience. That might be higher than you can reasonably expect to get to.
Yeah, especially considering what we got to work with, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, the one thing that was notable, we didn't get the chance to mention it, is that 1-3/5 did take a fight there, which was 2 undead enemies, and so was able to use his Phoenix Downs, which they started with a bunch of them, to get, instant kill them, get a bunch of free experience. So he's actually higher level than some of the other people.
So what is the settings and win conditions? Someone's asking in chat.
Okay, so the settings they're originally based on Ultros leagues, but there's a lot of changes. Effectively, so this is a draft. Schwantz, if you wouldn't mind reposting the picks there. Effectively, each round, there's 4 rounds of the draft. Each player picks a card, which, for example, one card is you can have, everybody can equip everything. One card is spells cost more than normal, 125 to 175%. The final objective is still to kill Final Kefka, but if you've seen any previous Worlds Collide races, there are sometimes skips where, hey, you can just sort of jump to the end and not have to do the long walk through Kefka's tower. Doesn't exist here. It just is what it is.
Yes, that's the thing. We are seeing Nobody War go taking on this fight, which I don't think it's too bad. I mean, decent amount of experience, and it's very easy to kill.
Yeah, those Revivifies work just like the Phoenix Downs to kill undead. Also, like Shadow Sid just pointing out, the one thing you don't see very often in the randomizer is that little path from the northwest part of Figaro to the southeast part. Normally people just get that clock and then walk right back out, so kind of like that.
That pot, you mean? Ooh, we are going to see the other way pot though.
Yeah.
A barrel. That is. You don't ever see that. I don't ever pick that up, so I know it's not very common.
Yeah, and to answer a question in chat, so basically how the checks work is every time you do a check, it's your number of characters, your number of espers, and the number of dragons. So the more of those you complete, enemy levels scale up, so they do more damage, also get more experience, but they're more dangerous. However, your characters, if you need to level your characters, you have to do it via fighting. So if you do a lot of checks early, you can get yourself in a bad spot where it's like, I can't kill anything. Everything's too strong for me.
Yeah, and in that case, you definitely want to find gear to get stronger and whatnot. That's definitely the case then. But for the most part, we're gonna see, like, most of the time we're gonna see, we're not gonna go that far. So
yeah, definitely. These, like I said at the beginning, these runners all are quite experienced and quite good at this game. So like I think all of them have at least a decent idea of what they can and can't do and where they might get themselves into trouble by messing up the scaling.
yeah, so what I normally try to do is no more than 3 and 3 or 2 and 4 or whatever, like 6. The 6 amount of characters and espers combined. That's when I stop. That's when I stop.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I stop. Then it also kind of depends on what you have. If you've got espers which increase strength, like Nobody War does, like those levels, especially with your first battle, because you start at level 3, so your first couple battles, like, you will shoot up in level. So by the time he finishes his mini grind here, his Edgar will probably have an extra 30, 40 strength. Well, maybe a little less than that. Maybe an extra 20 to 30 strength. So that Edgar's really going to be putting in work with physical attacks.
Yeah, so we're definitely... Is that Vanilla Celeste? that Celeste have Runic? Does it?
I did not notice. I apologize.
I thought I did. I thought I saw vanilla Runic on her.
Yeah, so Celeste has Runic. Terra actually has Vanilla Morph. Cyan has Vanilla Sword Tech, and Edgar has Jump. So it's been very odd. Normally the commands are randomized, but two of the cards that were picked for this draft was Edgar with Jump and Celeste with Runic. It just so happens that the other two characters we have their vanilla abilities, which is quite rare and odd to say the least.
Yeah, that was just weird. Wow. We are going to see Mount Zozo on Nobody War side.
Yeah, and
So
I
in
would
or-
expect.
So in order to get in the vanilla game as well, but you could in the earlier versions of the World Collide do this in the World of Balance, but in the latest version you have to do this in the World of Ruin, and you have to have Cyan. You have to buy the Restrid, and then you can go into, and you have to have Cyan, and then you can go into Mount Zozo.
Yeah, and the benefit here is it's a check, and it also has a dragon, which, as we mentioned briefly earlier, this seed, the way the flags played out from the draft, if you kill 2 dragons, you get a Dragoon suit, which is great for the Edgar that Nobody War is powering up with strength. And then if you kill 4 dragons, everybody gets plus 20 magic power, which is basically the best stat. You know, if you're going to call one stat the best stat in the game, it'd probably be magic power. So, and of course, the dragons have their normal benefit of being bundles of experience, magic points, and gold. So, you know, there's a strong incentive to do this. This is a really good play.
Yeah, Fitz thought about it, and like, no, I'm not guaranteed to find a like Sortex 7, so let's put it on Edgar. And
Yeah,
also, we have an Esper here as well, at Mountain Zozo. See what it is. Unicorn's pretty good. Let's see what... MP's pretty good, I guess. Maybe.
yeah, it's kind of what I mean. In a seed like this, where the spells cost a little more, it's not bad, but it's really not.
Ah,
But Fire 2 and Ice 2 are fairly nice to
taken
have.
off the Muku Charm, by the way. Maybe hope I can get a fight before the dragon. I mean, we are assuming that we're fighting the dragon by now.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, if he wasn't going to fight the dragon, he would have just warped out, because they do have 10 Storting Warp Stones, which is plenty for the entire game.
Yeah.
But really, it wouldn't. You know, with the way this seed incentivizes dragons, plus wanting stats overall.
Well,
Not
no,
sure
we're
it'll
not
make a lot
taking.
of sense.
Are we not taking dragon? Are we just walking out?
I think
No,
he's
we're-
walking outside to see if he can get a better encounter, because that previous encounter wasn't great for experience, and neither is this one, if I remember right.
I don't think so. Plus, we don't really have any, like, hardly any party-wide anything at the moment.
Oh, and over on Shadow Sid's side, having some bad luck with some sprinters and ending up having to burn a rod to potentially get through this fight.
But are we going to? I don't... We might? Not sure. We have to burn 2 rods here. Yeah. Burn 2 rods. We have to burn 2 rods. That's kind of bad. Man, we're not getting a lot of really good encounters in Mount Zozo.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Sid had to burn 2 rods, and also, even worse, 2 of the characters were dead, so they didn't actually even benefit from it.
Oh man, this is It's Whitey. Oh, we're getting a pearl off. Take an Abscion. And who else dies?
Oof, and that's just rough because
Yeah, Terra had queued that up, and ooh. Oh, we got a
Yeah, and
Thunder Rod.
even worse, like the problem is nobody wore resetting out, and that makes sense because the thing about White Dragon is technically it can only kill one person per turn, but it's also very fast right now. So, you can't really rely on being able to out Phoenix it like you could in seeds where you're more evenly matched.
Yeah. We're not very high level, and at this point, we don't really have like a really good way to get levels at the moment. We're like not really high level at the moment, and I don't think we have a good way to get levels that it's a little safe. There's question mark Pearl, which doesn't hit us. Yay! You don't get hit with it.
Fitz is about to try this too. Maybe Fitz will. I know Fitz has done more looting, so potentially Fitz might have some bailouts on his side.
There we go. The Thunder Rod, and that's a dead dragon. Yay!
And even better, everybody survives, so everybody gets that experience boost and the magic points, which are really valuable at this point because help them learn Ice 2 and Fire 2, and Bio, apparently. Plus a free Pearl Lance from being the White Dragon.
That fixed dice, that... I'll be honest, I'm a fan of fixed dice. I'll be honest.
Yeah, fixed dice that, as Schwantz points out in chat, can be equipped by anyone, so you don't have to worry about, finding someone to equip it. And then, so Edgar with the Pearl Rod, who's already been juicing off the strength, and then you've got fixed dice. So that's two really good items for the way this party is set up.
Pearl Lance? When did we get a Pearl Lance?
Off the dragon itself. Because the dragons still give their, in addition to being checks, they give their own normal output, like if you killed them in the vanilla game.
I thought that was the drop that you get after you, in the original game, that you get after the fight's over.
Like it counts as though it's not actually, like it's part of the rewards, like the XP and money. So that's why you get it even in the randomizer, and you will pretty much always get it unless you...
Ooh,
I think there's ways to change it, but...
We have a dead Edgar on... Ooh, this isn't looking too good. Might have gotten hit with level question mark Pearl.
Yeah, but I like Fitz just going for it here because I don't think you have time to really risk trying to res him and potentially missing out on the entire kill.
Yeah, it's better just to risk it than to just to take a wipe.
Yeah, nobody wore coming here to do the underground castle check, which is a few chests, which we'll see here, plus a check, plus it also unlocks the ancient castle, which at this point, usually if you're going to do Edgar's check like this, you're going to route them together. It's not a check people love, but it's not a terrible check either, I don't think.
Are we jumping with fixed dice? That's definitely an option, but...
Yeah, the sprite being a ghost, as Schwantz points out in chat, means it's not a character. I believe it still could be an item or an Esper. But it does, unlocking this does get you to the ancient castle, which will be nice because it's both a check and also a dragon. So, that would actually be nobody wore second dragon, so that'd be a nice dragoon suit.
We are using bio here, and nobody wore. Because I don't ever use bio, but it's good against spicy chicken.
Leader is human, so he's weak. Yeah, weak to bio. It's just in a lot of cases, like even with the weakness, it's not like a level 3 spell is still stronger in most cases. So like even with the weakness, you'll often have better options.
Yeah. I didn't know humanoid enemies were against poison, just because of being human. Yeah, so we got Osmos now. Explain to us how good that is.
So in a normal seed, it's sometimes kind of whatever. Like it's good to have, but oftentimes you'll go, one fight and then, you're only fighting boss battles, so you'll refill. But here, MP costs are 125 to 175% of their original costs. So even if you find like a really great spell, a level 3 spell, maybe Merton, Meteor, something like that you'd really want to do, those all are expensive normally and they're extra expensive now. So that could be very, very useful because it basically allows you to refill your MP basically at will, both from enemies and since we have a character like Edgar who's just going to be jumping and not relying on his magic at all, you can always refill off your own party if you really get desperate.
Yeah, and we definitely see it here. We were definitely gonna see it here. Interesting. Are we going to Magic Factory?
Yeah, it looks like Shadow Sid is going to Magitech Factory, which, if you're familiar with Ultros League seeds, you might be thinking, oh, this means if you find Magitech, you get a full Magitech. That flag is actually not on in this seed. So basically you're doing this just for the 2 or 3 checks. One play a lot of runners like to use is they'll do the first 2 checks, and if they get like two good espers or something out of the start, they just bail out and ignore the 3rd check. The 3rd check is the minecart ride and 2 extra bosses, so it takes a lot longer.
That is the best lance in the game. That works. Who doesn't like a good aura lance?
Yeah, especially since, like, I can't remember which is which, but there's one lance of the 2 top tier lances. There's one Edgar can equip, and one Mog can equip. But in this case, you don't have to worry about which is which.
Yeah. Ooh, level 4 flares going off. Oh, we're not level 4. That's good. We do have a Storm Dragon who is very weak against lightning. Why that Pearl Rod did as much damage as it did. Or, sorry, not Pearl Rod, Thunder Rod. Jeez, I can tell I'm tired. That Thunder Rod did about 3,000 to 4,000, something like there. By Cyan, you're now taking a nap. Get the rolls.
Yeah, and a couple nice pieces of equipment there on Shadow Sid's side. The Zarina Gown, which is decent stat stick, and then also Behemoth Suit, which is also a very nice stat stick. Normally it's limited in equipment, but again, we've got the everybody can equip everything card picked, so very nice.
Come on, give us rolls. Stop at the 200. Trash rolls, come on. We're not getting that many good rolls.
One subtle thing I like that nobody was doing here is when he was doing that fight, Terra and Cyan, since they're doing much less damage, rather than wasting the animation time, just had him sit in the menu because it saves you animation time, and it also means, if you need someone to quickly toss Phoenix down, you've got alternatives. And that's a good way that, subtle but good way to save time in the overall seed.
Hey, remember when we needed that Dragoon armor set?
Yeah, that was the 2nd dragon, so that's the Dragoon set, which is a dragon horn, which you saw. It's already got equipped.
Yep, I already have it equipped.
Yeah, so basically Edgar is right now end game capable. You're going to need more levels, but his setup right now is perfectly fine for the end game.
They forget. Do they have multiple Moogle charms on? I saw they take their Moogle charm off, but maybe they had multiple on.
Yeah,
We
it
do
looks
see a
like
crane
it does.
fight. We do see crane fight on Shadow's side. Man, that is really lucky that you chose Meteor. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing about Meteor for cranes is that each of them has an absorption, so Meteor just doesn't have to worry about it.
Also, Tech Barrier doesn't screw you over then. Ooh, that is Calmness Protection. Wanna tell us about Calmness Protection?
Yeah, so Calmness Protection and 2 great spells, which I'll get to later. So at the final boss, the tier 3 of the final boss is when you kill them, sends out 1 to 2 attacks called Calmness, which is a physical attack that instantly kills whoever it hits, no questions asked. It's single target, so if you're really desperate, you can just basically sacrifice 1 to 2 characters. But if you have something like Golem or Fenrir, which protects against physical attacks, you can also have Phantom, which is less useful, less ideal, but also works, or just have high evasion. But getting Golem like that is very nice. It also had Life 3, which is kind of useful, nice resurrection, but Ice 3, which is a very powerful spell. That is like an endgame caliber spell.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're seeing some good stuff rolling here. And if the other two don't go there, they're not gonna get that Golem. So
Yeah, and one thing to note is Fitz is opening a bunch of chests, like monster box chests. I don't think Fitz found the offering that Nobody War found in a chest somewhere in Figaro, maybe. So Fitz seems to be just digging for the offering out of these monsters in a box. Which, if you're going to do it, this is actually the play to do it, because there's I believe 3 along the way here, which is like a 25% of all the monster boxes in a seed.
we're not very well equipped to be fighting Dolan at the moment. But
Oh, that's rough.
yeah, so Ice heals it, and that's what we have.
On Shadow Sid's side, and then also on One Free Fitz's side, just took a wipe, and fortunately did save at the save point, so only lost a couple minutes of progress, and knows what those monster box chests are, so can skip them if he doesn't want to. But yeah, that's
Looks like
not what you want to see.
We might be taking a fight or two. Are we?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get the dragon, like, this is your only chance, because you are not coming back to this. This is a completely ridiculous check to even consider coming back to. So if you're not confident you can beat the dragon, you gotta level up here.
Ooh, that's dead, Edgar. That hurt. We are seeing the power of Orland's Dragonhorn jump in. On Edgar. On Nobody War's side.
Yeah, because that's the Edgar that's also been juicing off that +2 strength Esper for the past 17 levels. So that's, 34 strength?
Yeah.
And Edgar is naturally a relatively strong character too, so...
And we have a frozen Celeste. Who happens to have Meteor? It's the only one in the party who knows Meteor.
And I don't think Sid has any fire spells.
That is correct, he does not. No fire spells. Now we are seeing some air attacks though. And that's dead. That is dead Dolan. Ooh. That was a hit.
Nicely done for Sid to push his way through there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good thing. Are we gonna see any chests opened here in the dream?
I mean, I would assume Nobody War is going to open the easy chests. It's just that one, since you walk past it like 3 or 4 times, everybody gets it whenever.
Yeah. It's just, unless you feel like you're too powerful and you're just wasting time, then I could see not getting it because you're just gonna waste time for opening the chest and you're not really gonna get any stronger. But oh, we are seeing a struggle here on Fitz's side. We're out of MP on Terra, and we're dying really fast. Oh, there goes Terra. And
Yeah.
Cyan.
And the real problem here is that Fitz can probably just keep going, got enough Phoenix downs, but doesn't seem like he's really getting a chance to actually do damage because you got to at least knock one of these out so then you can get ahead of the thing. There we go.
Okay, one of them is dead. Are we just going for it? And say, I'm not gonna resurrect Cyan? I think we are. I think I'll just get experience on the other three.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
Yeah, especially considering what that fight was. Flame Eater boss with Rexald, though. Not too bad. Flame Eater's not too bad. Does Nobody War know about those offerings for sale?
I don't know.
Because they have fixed dice. And they're using it with Celeste and not Edgar, who's jumping. So could potentially do fixed dice offering.
Yeah, though that does, as Schwantz is pointing out in chat, that does take quite a bit of time.
But at the same point, you also are dishing out the damage that you need to do with a certain character, so...
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that just isn't going to put it on now, just because, like we saw in that last fight, didn't have any issue. He's not really having any issues putting out damage right now. So maybe it's something you just sort of keep that in your back pocket, and when you get to Final Kefka, you want it, but you don't necessarily want to invest the time seeing her throw the dice 4 times when you only really need 1. Ooh, and a Cure 3 Esper. That's basically the only useful curing magic there, so that's good to have.
Ooh. Ooh, that hurts.
And to answer a question in chat, it's plus 10 levels for dragons, but only dragons. Everybody else has the typical kind of scaling.
We're struggling again, but I'm feeling we're almost done with this fight.
I do like the use of Bahamut there by Shadow Sid. It's some nice multi-target damage, non-elemental. Good way to start off the fight.
There we go. Now the dragon's dead. Not a character for Dome of Siege, by the way.
Yeah, though Nobody War is still at the spot with needing 3 more Espers and 2 more characters. Still at the spot where you're fine if it's an Esper.
Yeah, we're not past that point yet, but it is worth noting. Just as a point of reference here, ooh, we have magic power plus 2 on her? Wow, where did we get that at? Jeez, how did I not know about that? Anyway, you get fully healed before this check.
One.
But you get fully healed when you go into this next fight, so you don't necessarily need to heal. Oh! It's Magi Master, which kinda hurts. Where we're pulling out Merton with Morph Terra. Because we just want him to die.
Yeah, I mean that is good that has Merton protection, and Edgar and Celeste also are absorbing one of the elemental spells that Magic Master was casting. So that's really nice to have that sort of protection. Might be able to get through this, even though it won't be quick.
Yeah, we might be able to make it through here. Sid bought the Thunder Shield Infector. That's where that shield came from. Ooh.
And this is just not the fight you want to see, because it's, yeah, Warp Stone. Good call. Because they don't provide experience, so...
Oh, was it magic? Level magics?
Yeah, it was level magics.
Oh, this is a runaway fight. Now, fun fact, if you actually just run away at the very start of the Siegfried fight, your run gauge will go up to max and you'll just instantly run away.
Yeah, this is pretty useless Opera House enemies. As Schwantz is saying in chat, you know, magic, as we just mentioned, is garbage, and then Siegfried is just a complete waste of time.
Yeah, level magics are, ugh. You know, I would just charge through and not have to worry about it. It takes more time to try to dodge them than it does.
Yeah, especially since Nobody War has something like 26 warp stones, because they started with 10, and I think he bought some more at a shop somewhere, so it's not like you're going to run out.
Ooh, that's it.
Oh boy, Magimaster spamming Doom. Not what you want to see.
I don't think I've ever seen that out of him. I'd be kind of scared right now if I was Shadow Sid. Kind of important to get back up. We are seeing Welk on Nobody War side. Kind of the fight you kind of don't want to see at this point. Because, yeah, that happens. Probably going to be seeing a counter or two. Ooh. That is a dead Edgar on Fitz's side. Yeah, we're getting, like, pain central here.
Oof, you know you're desperate when you're using dried meat to heal. Oof.
Are we dead? No?
No, because Celeste is absorbing a lot of stuff. But Sid's not really getting any chance to do anything offensive.
It's a wipe on Fitz.
And on Sid, which I believe Sid saved after coming off the train. At least, boy, I hope he did.
I hope so. I don't know. Did he? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Alright, I wanted to make sure. Because it's horrible if you haven't saved in a while, and you just die by, like, Magic Master or Spicy Chicken or something like that.
Yeah, and one thing to note is, if Sid can't get through this, I don't think there's a way to escape this part without actually fighting this fight. I think his previous save was, and I saw he had 2 saves on his file when he opened it. I don't know if the second one was, you know, at the same spot or right before the train, which is another spot that you can't actually escape from.
I would think it would be like right before doing the second check, or right before the first check. You get a save beforehand.
Yeah, Nobody War is probably not feeling too great about that Opera House just for an item. Okay, saved after Magitech 1. That's good at least. Does still leave you with an out.
Oh man, Magic Master being rude, and we don't have Berserk. Do we have rods? Like, do we have
I
like?
think Sid did have rods. I think a lot of them got burned over the seed.
Like, okay, we could open up with like a morph rod shenanigan, and then spam meteor and that stuff. But
One thing here that I think is subtle that's going to be really nice for Nobody War is if you notice he's already at 7 out of 9. If I remember right, I think it's the first 2 checks both had espers. So when you're 9 out of 9, I could very well see him just, deciding to bail there and go for character checks rather than potential for character/esper. Try to go for quicker checks. It's possible Nobody War doesn't have the same slamming face into Magimaster that Sid is unfortunately dealing with.
I don't like Magic Master. Oh, stop killing Terra. What'd she do to you? Interesting that we're using Runic.
As mentioned in chat, so Schwantz is trying to think about where the next characters can be. We have not seen Zozo Tower or Leet River. Leet River is especially a check that everybody hates. Kefket Narsh, which is a check everybody hates now that there's the revised Mog check, so you can sort of chain Kefket Narsh in with the Mog checks, and then Mobliz and Welk. If this doesn't pay off for Nobody War, I wouldn't be surprised doing Welk and Kefket Narsh, because that's about as close to check combining them together. And Zozo Tower and especially Leet River feel like they're forever.
Oh man, we are like struggling here. Man, yeah, just go for it. Just YOLO. Because obviously you're not gonna be able to get anyone back up. He's just gonna keep killing. Ooh, that was not enough damage. Ooh. That's not good.
This is where if you've got Magicite, smoke them if you got them.
Oh, Seraphim, alright.
That's actually a somewhat useful spell for this spot.
Yeah. Do we got anything else to use?
I mean, I'd be burning the X-Ether here or Tincture, fine, and just trying to meteor your way through.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, thankfully, Slush has... fire protection. And ice protection. Still not enough damage. This is turning into a horrible fight now.
Yeah, and the problem is, Schwanz points out in chat, is that soon enough he's going to start using the Mute, Bio, or Doom, and any of those basically ends the fight.
Yeah, that's the main problem here, is that we don't have the damage to just go all out in this. That's the issue here. Because Edgar's jumps are not going to do anything. Hardly. So we're just... Oh, there's Doom. Oh, it missed! Oh, it's not going to miss, though.
I think do have echo screens, hopefully. Yeah, there we go.
But,
it's still just, lost time when you're just counting down, sitting there wondering, is he going to decide to murder me soon? Is he going to decide to kill me soon?
Alright, let's see if we can kill him in the next meteor or not. Let's hope. Let's pray. Yeah! Hey, there he
Nicely
goes.
done.
Whew, that was a close one.
Also, just gonna note, one free Fitz just bought like 4 Thunder Shields. I like that play. But yes, very nicely done there by Sid.
Yeah. We don't have. Oh my goodness gracious. That was a heavy punch. We're gonna see Sid go into the horrible excuse of a opera house now.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nobody War and One Free Fitz are both going through the Magitech factory themselves. Once we see what this is, because I don't really remember, we can talk about since we're sort of okay.
So,
Oh, Starlet. Okay, so that's his 9th Esper, I believe.
yeah, it's got magic power on it, magic power +2, which you're gonna be putting on your magic user. I wouldn't necessarily think you would put it on Celeste because she's not really doing magic damage. We are going to be going to Magic 3 though, which is interesting. I wasn't thinking we were going to, but
Yeah,
I guess we are.
I mean, I think Nobody War is also sort of, I mean, in general, sort of running low on checks that can reward characters. So, might be just thinking, I don't want to bail out here and end up hard locked, end up last locationing, having to come all the way back here just for this.
Yeah.
That said, since we're now retracing old steps here for a minute, and we know the Opera House is boring, and we've seen plenty of Magitech Factory, just take a sec here to go back and remind everybody. So this flag set is a draft, and the draft here is based on the upcoming Blackjack event that's coming from that sign-ups start next Sunday. So it is run from the 26th through the 2nd. So similar to what you're seeing here, basically every single round, there are basically the players are broken into groups, and you will be drafting individual flags that sort of modify the flag sets every week. The surviving players keep modifying the flag set. Signups start next Sunday and run for a week, so the 22nd through the 6th. Get your signups in, and then there is 1 week between the 2nd and the 9th, which is done for, excuse me, 2nd through the 9th, which will be the one single async race, also based on, I believe, drafted flags, but an async race. And then after that, people are broken into groups. So should be a fun time. I know we mentioned this a little bit at the start, but even if you're new to Free Enterprise, this is the kind of flag set that will make you much better.
Where's Clyde? You said a different name than what Randomizer is. But yeah, new to Worlds Collide, you definitely want to do this.
Yes. Okay. So I must have missed that. But yeah, if you're new to Worlds Collide, yes, you should definitely sign up. Like it's going to make you much better as a player, I suspect, because I'm expecting to get much better just because so many flag sets change. But it's also something that, since the flag set does change every week, nobody's really got like fully established. Okay, these are the primary strategies. So everybody's going to be making it up a little bit on the fly. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. We are seeing...
I'm sorry to cut in. Just to clarify, on the async, we are running just the base draft flag. So it's going to be basically Ultros League with no skip or Sword Tech or Magitech, just the 6 and 9 requirements, and the base Ultros flags with no cards drafted. Anyway, go ahead, Cooper.
What I was gonna say is that we are seeing Cyan being grabbed by the tentacles, And Celeste. Of course. You know what? It's alright.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nobody War probably isn't too concerned about it, though. Because the one thing about having tentacles is, you know, they can only kill one person at a time per tentacle, so no matter what, gonna have someone survive.
We're gonna see Cyan get picked up? Or are we not? I mean... Oh,
Probably
apparently
just-
we are.
Yeah, I probably just wanted to kill one of the tentacles so you had less chance of reviving him than having him get immediately grabbed again. The other nice thing about tentacles that isn't necessarily immediately obvious is you see how they have to slow people first before seizing them. So, you know, you can often, if you have like haste or something, you can basically counteract it. Or if you happen to be already be equipped with Marvel shoes, running shoes, whatever, they're basically
Oh,
zero.
baby. Oh, baby. We are seeing renamed cards being bought. Love it. What are we seeing here?
Oh, I assume this is something like WTH, what the heck, for good old Magi Master being so rude.
We are. It's great. Oh, you gotta love it though. You gotta love it.
Yeah,
But the
also, one thing just to note, on Nobody War's side that is going to make his fight easier than Shadow Sid, he apparently has Flare, which ignores magic defense, I believe.
And it's
So,
not elemental. It's also not elemental.
yeah.
And we have fixed dice, which bypass the massive defense that he has. Ooh.
Nobody
I-
War, I think, did not buy a bunch of Thunder Shields like everybody else did, though.
I think Shadow Sid only bought one. I could be wrong. But Free Fits bought 4.
Why buy one when you can buy 4? For 4 times the price.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
have Merton on a spell, then you might as well. You know.
Yeah, I get 4 for 4 times the price. No discount today. Yeah, Sid hasn't done the Figaro Castle check yet. Would have thought we would have seen it on his side, but
It looks like just trying to chain it together in the way that other people, you know, so you do the basement, and then when it comes up, you can either right then and there do the Figaro Throne, or you do Ancient Castle, then Figaro Throne. Ooh, also
not-
going for the extra chests.
I was just about to say that. Why'd you steal my line?
I don't know, but looks like Nobody War is trying to learn Berserk here, which, if you've got it on an Esper, definitely this is a good use of your time to just learn it.
Ooh. Exploder's going off. That's not good. Pep up. Alright. Oh, now we don't know how much HP they have. Bye, Cyan.
Also, apparently, Runic does not absorb Exploder.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's a lore.
We learned something new today. Something brand new. Yeah, so definitely going to be Oh, yep. Here we go. Magi Master on 5th side. But for some reason doesn't have that. We are seeing Merton go off though. I always liked Merton's strats. There's 3,000 damage.
Oh, now that just feels disappointing. Nobody wore having to burn elixirs to heal because no sleeping bags or tents apparently.
Yeah. Do we have meteor on her? I think so. Okay, there it is. Yeah, elixirs aren't too bad. Worry about healing when you got elixirs. Are we getting seized? We're getting put to sleep. We're dancing.
And just not really getting some good magic power or magic point experience here for Nobody War to try to learn this Berserk. It's like 4th fight, I think.
How far are we on yeah, we're just not even gonna do it, are we? We're just gonna say screw it. We're just gonna go in.
Chat saying that he has it already. Maybe just, I guess, going for a little bit of extra levels.
Oh, there it is. There's Berserk. Which means Magic Master is not going to be difficult then. Because we can just spam anything on him now.
Yeah, and also, well, that Quadra Slam's not very helpful.
Yeah, not compared to Quadra Slice.
Yeah,
We can do anything on
the
it.
problem is with Sword Tech 4, it doesn't ignore defense, whereas Sword Tech 7 does. And Magic Master is super high, both physical and magical defense, so that's why you get nothing with Sword Tech 4. You're better off using Sword Tech 1, which is only 1 strike, but it does ignore defense. So you'll see this comes in for a lot more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what. Shadows. Fitz going in. The runners.
Maybe checking the chest if he hasn't already. Because I know Fitz was digging for the offering earlier.
Yeah, but we know it's Allover because we saw it at the very start.
Yeah.
But Fitz doesn't know that until now.
Yeah, and Fitz already has 2 dragons. There is the reward for having 4 dragons, which is 20 magic power, which is nice, but I mean, I guess you do get the Tritalk check too, so that's two checks on top of each other.
Nobody were going into regular world balance so-so.
Yeah, I mean, Nobody War is kind of running out of places where he can get a 5th character and really knock the seat open. You've got Zozo, you've got Leet River, which everybody hates. You've got Welk plus Kefka at Narsh. And I think there was one more. But, Mobliz.
I personally...
Honestly, at this point of the seed, I might have wanted to dip Mobliz just from the standpoint that it's peekable, so you can actually just talk to the kid. If it's not something, then, if you see a character, you're great. If not, you immediately just reset out.
I would save outside or something like that of Narsh and just peek Kefka Narsh, and that way if it's not a character you can just reset out. instead of having to walk all the way back down. Because it can have a character, and at this point, that's not really looking too bad. We're kind of running out of character checks.
Yeah, and just we mentioned this earlier, but in case anyone's not aware, with the way the flags are set up, unlike a normal Ultra League setting, there is no, hey, you got 12 espers instead of 9. Here's a free skip. There's no skip. So all these extra espers, unless they happen to be useful, like that magic power +2, like they're not really doing anything except for whatever the esper itself is worth.
Yeah. We are seeing Guardian on Fitz's side, though. The tree talk spot. You can see a Mega Elixir come up? Do we not have healing?
Doesn't look like he has much in the way of healing.
We're seeing a
And
Merton.
also might need magic refill from the Merton spam, because remember, spells Merton is naturally very expensive, and there's also they cost 125 to 175% per MP.
I'm a weapon.
Yeah, just so to interject here real quick, I did notice that some of the spells are actually cheaper than they are, and I looked at the flag set, and the MP setting was broken with the bot, so yay, we found the bug. So,
Hey!
in this
There we go.
particular flag set, it was supposed to be 125 to 175, but it actually is 75 to 175. So, the runners caught a bit of a break there, I guess.
Another Esper, by the way. A Crusader. Not necessarily something you want to see. That's not Fire 3 on it, I guess.
It does have Fire 3, but it's worth noting it's only ×1. And then we're also, gold magic points are only multiplied by 4 times rather than the slightly more common 5 times, so you can learn it, but it'll take a little more effort than you might expect. Depending on how many more boss battles you expect to take between now and the end of the seed, you might even look at that and be like, I don't know if I'd actually finish that.
Ooh, we're eating a meteor. That's a dead Terra. Yeah, we win. Yeah, it's not a kind fight if you don't have the damage for it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fitz is going to do the Dome of Dream here, which will get him his 9th Esper, and then I believe at least 1 or 2 more Espers. So, he'll be ready, and he'll be in sort of the same position Nobody War
That's
is,
an
just
offering.
trying to look for additional characters.
Now we have an offering for that fixed dice. Are we gonna see it be put on? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Are we gonna see that offering get put on?
I mean, maybe, but the animation time adds up really quickly. So might be something where you just decide, you know what, it's not really worth it for me.
Nope. We're not doing Kefka Nurse. We're not even gonna peek
Flipping
it.
to World of Rune, which I assume has to be mobile, is because I don't think there's anything else even in this World of Rune here that Nobody War can check right now.
Yeah, we're peeking Mobilos.
Oh, not even peeking, just going straight in. Interesting.
Oh!
But I guess you do see the character here if it's a character, so.
Not a character.
And I mean, you don't need an Esper, so that peak is probably about as quick as it would have been to walk down and talk to the kid. So it's Leet River or Kefket Narsh.
I mean, I would personally look at Kefka Nurse first. It's peekable. Oh, I don't. Has somebody done Shoot Gate yet? I don't. Have we?
Actually, he might not have, because I remember when Shadow Sid and Free Fits did it by basically simultaneously. I guess Nobody War skipped it.
Yeah. So remember, this was, I think it was an Esper.
I think it was garbage, but honestly, given where Nobody War is in terms of Espers, an item versus a Genji shield versus a garbage is either way garbage at this point because you don't really need more Espers.
I like that movement in the Sealed Gate though. Nice and clean.
Yeah, and I do like trying to basically skipping the chests outside the ones you straight up walk into, because at this point there's not really anything. I mean, maybe you could find some Minervas, or like Nobody War could use some elemental shields, but there's nothing that's like truly game changing. Edgar is already doing damage. Your mages are already doing damage. Sword tech is sword tech, so there's nothing that's really going to completely shatter your ideas here.
What was this? Was this garbage or was this an Esper? I can't remember. No, it's an Ice Shield.
Well, I mean, I think you at least, I mean, you still keep it because it's not bad, but it's definitely not what Nobody War was looking for there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Sure. Like, I guess we're checking the treasury? Why not?
I mean, even this late in the seed, I think it makes sense because this is a lot of chests altogether. This is, in terms of time per chest, this is the most dense area in the entire game. So if there's even something, you know, moderately like that hero ring, might get equipped because that's probably pretty useful. But
It's just going for that.
Well, on Fitz's side, note that does still need an Esper. So for Nobody War, it made sense to bail out the instant he didn't see a character. But
it's Marshall. Hate to see it. We have an imped, stopped Celeste. Not anymore. Hey, thank you. Thank you for unimping me. Works for them. Yeah, they're snipers. Really, we are taking a lot of damage from Gold Durgan here, and we are resetting. Yeah, did not find great pleasure in that. Ooh, man. I guess we're trying again.
yeah, probably just needed to sort of get his party set up better. So of the checks that Nobody War has available, I kind of like Kefka and Arshir, because even if the answer is Leet River, you never feel bad last locationing Leet River because you can pretty much feel confident everybody hates that check. So there's a good chance your opponents also ignored it.
Are we gonna buy something here? We're buying some tents.
Yeah, so you don't have to use elixirs to heal up.
I personally just like using sleeping bags for the most part, but
I don't think Nobody War has found any.
ooh, it's kind of rough. Then yeah, keep the tents.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fitz is going to do the Zozo check here, which will be his ninth Esper. So at that point, he is pretty close to tied to where Nobody War is in terms of actual meaningful progression,
I did
except
not see.
that
Was that a character? Let's see. I wasn't looking. It's Realm.
it's
Murder
Realm.
Child. Murder Child. A little late, but okay.
A little late, but it is at least at a point, since they only had 4 characters this long. When it comes in at the average, I believe the average will be the same level as everybody else. So if you wanted to make a swap, you actually could, as opposed to having someone who's way underpowered.
Yeah.
But I don't know who you'd really... I mean, maybe Cyan, because Cyan's the weakest here, but you're clearly not getting rid of Dual Sniper Celeste, and then Edgar and Terra are doing their thing already.
You would get rid of who at this point? Who would you truly get rid of at this point?
I mean, I think Cyan of them, just because, unfortunately, you're never getting Cleave for the instant death, and even the Quadra Slice, Slam, whichever. The number 7 also seems you may or may not get there.
I don't think they set this up correctly. I think they're mixing up the Moogle defense and because that's a Moogle defense strat.
Yeah. So Fitz actually goes to Kefka, does the Kefka's checks here, which looks like he's going to. He's actually going to be right on Nobody War's tail, despite Nobody War having a bunch more Espers and a bunch more checks done. Yeah, the clarification from chat. Sword Tech 7 is level 44, but right now Nobody War is in like 33/34, so...
Yeah. Ooh, I think this is a reset. Yeah, cause because they set it up wrong. It's a reset. Yeah. This is a reset. Yeah. This set up Kefka and Arsh wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy to do because now you have Moogle defense in there. But yeah, that's just what you do. Yeah, you didn't save outside. The save
Did
point.
save outside, so at least don't have to walk all the way back, but still have to
buy
go back
his
and
tent again.
rebuy his tents. And actually, given where one free Fitz is, that they're basically, one free Fitz very well could take the lead here. I think Fitz is a little less powerful, so that's going to come into play too. But in terms of actual checks and progression, Fitz is going to take the lead here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, provided they can do Kefka and Nurse about the same time. Where were sleeping bags for sale at?
I don't know, but I'm kind of surprised Nobody War didn't find them. Sleeping bags aren't particularly hard to find. I mean, in a lot of scenarios, sleeping bags are very easy, so must just
Not
have been
always.
a shop that he skipped, yeah.
We're also seeing Apparently, the +10 went to enemy levels instead of dragon levels.
Oh, so the picks say it's supposed to be dragon levels, but I guess that's another thing we're learning about here. We are definitely. I mean, this is the first.
This is why we test things before they go live, right?
That's what I was going to say. This is why we test things, because this is the first. The first event where we've really used this sort of thing. So surely there's going to be some new stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, there's your offering fixed dice that you've been asking for all seed, I think.
Who has it on? Who has it on?
Oh no, it must have gone on Edgar. There's your offering Dragonhorn?
Who has
Thought nobody wore equipped on someone.
Offering dice is a decent way to do things. I'm a big fan of dice, I'll be honest.
Oh no, it's offering spear, which is not as impressive as you might think. Meanwhile, Fitz does finish off Kefka at Nar, so like we're talking, Fitz has just taken the lead.
Oh, yeah, we want to put that offering on Celeste with the double snipers. Offering sniper. Not a bad plan.
Sid running into a random hiding in the sky. We don't have Setzer, do we?
No.
We do not.
We do not. But
with Merton strats, Haydn is just going to get wiped really quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, we were able to take down Magic Master. I don't really think Hyde's going to stand much of a chance. And down he goes. I saw that offering on Cyan. Does he have dice on?
Offering Genji gloves, so...
Does he have dice on? That is the question. On Fitz's side. Got Stray on Shadow Sid. From Hiding in the Sky. Yes, so I'd say Shadow Sid's a little behind due to the Magi Master shenanigans we had earlier.
Yeah, no, looks like Fitz is about to be in go mode. With that realm, the way the randomizer works is typically new characters often lead to new characters, just the way the fill organism works. And then you see the go-go running around, so chasing the realm check here is about to pay off.
Oh, that's... Oh, this isn't gonna last too much longer. This Air Force is not gonna last too long. However, we do have to deal with a Rexel on Fitz's side. Rexel is one of those annoying bosses that just lives to aggravate you.
Yeah, and just really feels like it takes forever, just like all these extra actions from the other two things, which don't really do anything, but just waste time.
Yeah, it like lives to aggravate you. I don't know. That's the best way to put it. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Fitz is through here.
That is very true. What does Realm have? Should we check?
She had sketch.
Realm has 29 magic power, which is awful for her.
Wow, she rolled that low? Jeez.
Which, by the way, is that every character outside of Edgar having their natural ability?
I think so.
They're all supposed
maybe,
to be
maybe we should check on that one.
No, I'm looking at it here. They're supposed to be random unique. I don't know what the odds of that are. They're pretty low. Somebody who's smarter at math than us will have to tell us, right? But yes, it's supposed to be random unique. No mess and no shock. So, just how the seed played out, I guess.
I swear this is randomized. Are we gonna put Ren with the party though? We're gonna build her up. What are we gonna do with her?
I'm surprised Sid is continuing on with the dream, knowing that this is not a character here. And needing only one Esper if he resets out. Because he did get his 9th, he'll get his 10th and his 11th, but...
Did he save outside? Did he save outside of...
I thought he did, but that would make sense if he didn't sort of explain why you're going through this.
If he didn't save
However,
outside, then
yeah, then you
wanna
could
go
be
through
giving
this.
up a lot of progression.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fitz starting to go through the tower. Definitely just pushing through here, ignoring pretty much all the chests. They'll probably get this free one.
Yeah, most of the time you will get that chest just because, you know, it's right there. It's literally walking to it, so... So that's one of the, kind of, more lax, you know, not necessarily, faster, but the safest route, do this. It takes more time, but you can get the job done. So you take the first party, go as far as you can with it, then second party, you do the same, and then you get the third party on the switch, and the second party on the switch, and then you get your third party. And you get the first party on the switch. Get that stuff done there. What we're seeing right here on Fitz's side. We're seeing the safe route. Because, you know...
I mean, you say it's the safe route, but the one thing that can throw it off, which probably won't be an issue in this seed, but is that it means you do all the walking with characters 1 and 2. So if party 3 manages to slam into a rude boss that you just, can't cover, then you've wasted a bunch of time. As opposed to if you start with party 3, you find a rude boss in Inferno spot, and one you absolutely can't get past, and you have to warp out and reform your parties, you've at least wasted less time.
Well, yeah, that's also true, but at the same point...
I think in this case, it's probably not a concern, because the boss you'd be most worried for there is something like Magimaster, or, maybe like Doomgaze if you happen to be the wrong level, but Magimaster, we've already seen.
Yeah. So,
most other bosses Fitz can probably find a way to work past, even if it takes a reset or two.
Yeah, we've got Edgar in the party, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I believe we do have that Dragoon set, and a good weapon. Mars not going to be that difficult. I don't think we have Merton on this team, though.
No, because these are Fitz's physical characters, I think.
Ooh, that was a lot of damage on that. Come on, throw the sniper, don't just hit it. I hate to see it.
Umaro doesn't float, so that's why you're not...
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a floating thing. Alright. Makes sense. Okay, we are seeing... Did nobody work at the go-go?
Oh wow, that is a nice niche strat there by Fitz, casting float on Umaro so that Cyan could go nuts and really take advantage of that sniper.
Did nobody work at the character? At go-go? I thought we saw Rexel on the screen.
Yes,
You did, I think, just looking for, clearly just looking for sleeping bags, I guess. And while
I'm
you're
just-
here, of course, you dip in and
Oh!
see if there's anything useful. I mean, Atmo Weapon is really nice, but I also don't think Nobody War's level is that high. So you probably want to buy one, but it might, like, it's not the, oh my gosh, instant win. It might be in a normal seed given the reduced experience gains.
Yeah, but that's still good. That's still good, regardless. Yeah, Dirt Dragon is floating. You got a lot of sniper throws there. A lot of few hits. Yeah, I think Fitz is just trying to get levels on his other characters now.
Yeah, this is his two-person team, so doing the dragon is pretty useful.
Jeez. And then, how many sniper throws was that?
I think it was like 5 or 6 in that last one.
In that.
Oh, and the other thing that Fitz got, because that was the 4th dragon, 20 magic power. So that is very, very useful too.
Yeah, more damage with our characters as well. We are seeing an Opera Dragon on Nobody War's side.
This is probably to get the 3rd dragon, so then can go get the 4th, potentially getting the 4th dragon off Kefka's tower, like we just saw Fitz do. Because 20 magic power is a very nice bonus.
Are we gonna see? Are we gonna see potentially a 4-person team for the right side?
I would be surprised just because you are committing yourself. I mean, I guess you could do it through Inferno and then the dragon and then warp out. There is no statue skip, remember, so you are, I mean, whatever time you do is basically time you lose forever.
And you're also getting your experience onto all your characters at the same time?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're not fully, like, not fully convinced you can do it?
All right, and Fitz passes the math check.
Well, it's a level check, but...
Well, it's whether or not you can divide by 5 successfully.
But it has to do with your levels. How many specific enemies are in the game are lying? I actually don't know.
I don't know the full number, but I do know it's a surprising amount if you check the boss weaknesses spreadsheet. Much more than you would have possibly imagined playing vanilla or even just, casually playing Worlds Collide and just fighting bosses on your own.
Are we gonna see a death here, or are we gonna see a victory? Quad 9 damage hit, we win! And we also saw a backblade come out of Cyan.
Really, that's winning the seed right there.
Game's over, we win. We win. No, game's over. You're not wrong. I'll give you that. You're not wrong.
No, Shadow Sid is not going to take Pearl Lance away from Obliz. There's no real reason to.
We're having double Atmo weapons less. Are we doing snipers? What are we doing? Are we doing strength things, or are we...
Might just have been trying to check and see sort of what the stats were and what makes sense there.
I mean, like, Atmo weapon maybe makes sense? Oh, but not really? I mean, maybe if Celeste had a little more strength, but we don't really have that at the moment. Snipers will do a little more. Oh man. Well, that Celeste is not gonna last too long.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, Edgar with jump is pretty safe here, and
We're gonna
not
see
too
a
worried about
jumping
losing the
Yeti.
fight. You just might lose Celeste as part of it.
So, are we gonna see a jumping Yeti? It'd be great if we did, but I doubt. Bye, Celeste. Take a nap. We're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't think they found any of like the really strong defense armors.
Yeah, but doesn't matter. They still win. They still beat Umaro, the Yeti.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fitz finishing off second side of the statues, just has the right side left to go, and Shadow Sid just entered Go mode with picking up Go-Go there as the 6th character.
Like everyone else. I believe Shadow Sid may have done it a little earlier than the rest of them, but it doesn't matter. Looks like Shadow Sid also has 4 dragons.
Yeah, Shadow Sid actually went for primarily using Merton strats outside of jumping. Shadow Sid went for extra dragons earlier. So did Copper House Dragon earlier. Then I think can't remember where the 4th dragon took was, but yeah. Meanwhile, Nobody War here taking the dragon, which I believe is actually the 4th dragon, not the 2nd, not his 3rd dragon. So this should be the boost.
Yeah, and don't do Lead River. It's always a trap.
Yeah, shout outs to Falcon Hit in chat, who apparently was running the seed on his own, and let us know that started off with Leet River, which had plus 10 enemy levels as opposed to plus 10 dragon levels because of a bug in the generation, and then went all the way through Leet River for Doom, which is one of the tough bosses, for just an Ice Shield. So not exactly what you want to see there.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we'll live through Durgan though. we're kind of dying real fast.
Yeah, so Fitz getting on the statues about 1:37:20 seconds, stepping on the statues.
So tell us about Tier 1 as we are entering the final Kefka fight.
So Tier 1 is one of the tiers, probably the easiest, I would say. Big thing about Tier 1 that you'd like to have is instant death, because one of the parts can be instant killed. They might have X Zone. can't remember. I don't, I think they also might have, Shoat or something else like that. Biggest thing for tier 1, there's no super kill or instant death attacks if you do them in the right order. The top part, if you kill it last, gives you Quake, which you really don't want to see. But they do have Float. But generally, you want to doom the back part, kill the top part, and then kill the front. And that sort of gets you the safest way.
Yeah, and the arm in the back and the head are both weak against Merton and fire and all that stuff. So we're apparently just gonna see Merton come out because why not? Sounds good.
Yeah, the head, which is the one you really want to kill outside of the instant death one, the one that you want to avoid killing last because of Quake, is weak to fire. So that just works great. And there's X Zone there, which will try to kill the long arm one in the back, and did.
Now put Float on because we don't want to get hit with Quake today.
Yeah, given the fire weakness, it seems likely that you'd kill head before the short arm, but if you're going to do something like Merton or the offering here where you can't really control your characters, you don't want to accidentally get quaked. It's a good call there.
Did I use the remedy? Was that a mistake?
If tier 1 of its attacks is called Slip Hit, and it basically inflicts the sap or seizure status on one of your party members, you could cure it with a remedy. So
I had no idea.
Yeah, one free fit must not have wanted the tick damage because it doesn't stop at tier 1. It goes throughout the whole entire Kefka fight. So
Not that.
every time you watch a race, you learn something new, which is one of the awesome things I love about Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Like, you can cast Float on Umaro and hit him with a sniper. That was pretty awesome.
That's pretty sweet. And you could sketch him.
Yeah,
Why
and
not?
absolutely what we're seeing here is we're going to see tier 2 here, which the biggest priority here, so in the back there is the one sort of sticking its hand out is called Magic. That can be muted, and it's usually good to do both because the spells are annoying and it just wastes a bunch of time. There is the part in the center, which kind of looks like the girl in red, can be instant death. And then part in front, the tiger head is weak to ice, and that uses zombie and freezing. So that's usually what you want to kill first, if you're not just going to wipe everything all at once with Merm like we're seeing here.
We're going to get our HP back. Short Tech 5. Who needs instant death when you got Merton?
Yeah, I mean, especially with X Zone being the instant death, because X Zone does not have very good accuracy. If you had something like, the Magitech instant kill or Sword Tech 8 cleave, where it's got a very high hit percentage, you might still want to just do the instant kill and not have to worry about it. But X Zone has kind of a crummy hit percentage to start with.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah, so when you kill magic, and this is actually true even if you did mute it, it just spams Dispel, and then the guy in blue spams 10 hits here, which is basically just 10 physical attacks.
Something that we note here, magic can death counter with quarter on your entire party. So, something you want to take note of. He is not dead yet. Apparently we're restoring her MP. And there we go, tier 3.
Yeah, meanwhile, on nobody's side, just get past that Doom Gaze. And looks like Shadow Sid is about to start his statue fights as well, so they will probably only be a few minutes behind. Fitz clearly has the lead here, but if you take a wipe to Kefka, that ties right back up. Or even just, even if Fitz does win, it'll still be a very close race. Nobody's really losing very badly here. Probably both be done within 10-15 minutes.
When we talk about Tier 3, though.
Yeah, so Tier 3, there's basically two parts. The part in the back that looks like the girl with hair, and then there's the part in the front, which is that blue statue, or blue/purplish statue. The part in back spams heal spells, whirlwind, and other awful stuff. Only has 10,000 HP, but most importantly, will revive the part in front. So you kind of have to kill it first. But unfortunately, it is immune to absorbs all magic, all elemental magic. So if you have non-elemental magic, flare, meteor, etc., or physical attacks.
Does Fitz have Golem? I think so. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and then the Golem, I think we mentioned this earlier, is for calmness protection, because when you kill the part in front, which is the second part you kill on this, it does this, which is a physical attack, 1 to 2 physical attacks, which if it hits, instant kills a character. You can get around by Golem, which blocks physical attacks, Fenrir, which does the same thing, Phantom/the image status, though that's kind of risky because it's easy to accidentally get removed. For example, if you get meteored like this. Or even just, having high physical evasion with shields/beads/whatever, jump dodging out of the way.
Alright, and apparently Nobody War is taking a different approach to the Kefka's Tower? Interesting call. We are on Tier 4 now, so why don't we talk about that too?
So Tier 4 is very dangerous, but also fairly straightforward. Kefka's first move, unless you do a ton of damage up front, which is kind of very unlikely at this level, is he'll do Fallen 1, which basically reduces everyone to 1 HP. So you can see Fitz is probably going to toss his Mega Elixir once that happens. Also restores all your MP, and at this point in the fight, if you're casting stuff like Merton, you could probably use the MP refill just as much as the HP refill, so that's great. Kefka has a Mega Elixir himself to steal, so he didn't come in with one. It's a nice bailout. Then otherwise, his big thing is called Goner, which does a lot of damage. He also does very powerful Hyperdrive or Ultima counters if you attack him outside of what you're seeing right now. When he pulls that head, that means he's charging for Goner, and you want to go nuts. You want to break shields, cast everything you can do, smoke him if you got him, try to blow up whatever you can blow up, and just get him done before he can get you back. And Fitz was able to skip the Fallen one. I believe it's 30,000.
And that is a GG's for Fitz. Coming in first place with a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 49 seconds. See if we can get him in here.
Yes, very much GG's to Fitz there. On the other side, since Nobody War did have to bail out, Shadow Sid might actually, if he can get past the statue bosses, will be potentially in the lead again here, or in run for second place here.
Yeah, see if we can get Fitz in for an interview.
Well, we see if we can arrange fits. Let's just note that Shadow Sid had no problem with Rezo Pass, which is typical. It's a fight that's kind of annoying because it's random how long you have to sit there and kill pointless piranhas, but it's very rare that it's actually a dangerous fight, and definitely not at this part of the seed.
Yeah, for sure. When she kept his tower, the piranhas just become annoying. That's it. And we are joined by Fitz GG's.
Hello, thanks for thanks for the GGs.
So I have to say, how was the seed?
It was challenging, especially in the early to middle, I would say. Just because that +10 enemy levels, I was feeling that pretty bad for a while. And ran into a couple of walls. Some of them just random encounters that wiped me, but just kept at it and eventually started to get that power overwhelming going on and had a nice final fight.
Yeah, so Shadow Sid actually went early on into that horrible Magitech factory and did Magitech 3 really early without even having a cyan.
Yeah, that's rough. Early with the money that we had, I was trying to maximize it with Edgar shopping. I found those snipers and I bought 3 of them. And those turned out to be pretty good. But I don't know. I had a good time. It was tough, but fair for the most part.
Yeah, so what'd you think about the overall drafting format? What'd you think about, some of the flags that were picked? Anything in particular you liked, didn't like? Because part of this, of course, is to showcase it for the upcoming event, but also, and we've noticed a couple bugs as we're going along, it's playtesting. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the actual draft itself, I mean, we did a couple of practices, but it was fun. And you kind of get the ability to try to tilt it a little bit towards, maybe my preferred style, or try not to make it crazy hard. 'Cause there's some nasty ones, but this one in particular, with I think the combination of enemy levels +10, the EXP only being ×2, and the stats being crummy overall. I feel like I rolled more on the 60% than I did on the 90% for my characters. So all those made it hard to kind of get levels and win fights early. But once I hit about 25, it started to be a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely did see you struggle a little bit. How was that ancient castle?
I spent so much time there because I wanted to beat the dragon. And then it was a dead check. And I was like, are you kidding me? But I even wiped to a random formation in there too. That was the point where I was really like, ooh, I'm way behind scaling. I gotta figure out a way to catch up. And I did. I think I also tried to go to Opera House and it was just level magics in there. It's just I couldn't even warp away fast enough before I got wiped in there. So I never went back because I was too scared.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it was a force armor. That's all.
Oh, my goodness.
The other encounter in Opera House was Siegfried, so that would have been fun too, even though you wouldn't have wiped on it, just wasting time there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other encounter was Siegfried. Which, fun fact, you can actually run away from, if you start running away at the very beginning of the fight until there's dialogue. You can run away, it's an automatic run away.
I've learned that because I've run into him in enough like fixed encounter spots that, like, out of frustration, I think I was just like, I'm just gonna run right away, and I got away, and I was like, okay, that's less bad.
Yeah, we didn't see that too much in what the runners did. We did see a lot of interesting stuff. Nobody never found sleeping bags.
Yeah, it took me a while to find them too, and I went to a lot of shops early. That I was having trouble restoring my hit points for a bit. That was bad.
Yeah, he also ran out of Nobody War also ran out of sleeping bags in Magitech 3.
Yeah, I ended up having to burn like elixirs just to heal up and get ready for some random fights, learn Berserk, and then do Magimaster.
Yeah, I had to do that early too. I have used some X potions when I had like 200 hit points. I'm pretty sure there was just not a lot of healing magic to be had. If I was wiser, I would have bought like 40 potions. I kind of thought early on, I was like, I'm gonna be okay. I got like 5 thunder rods. This might be fast, and then I was wrong about that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be too quick to judge. Has it ever helped anyone?
I would say overall, I like the idea. I'm excited about the event, and it was fun getting to test it out and knowing that it's kind of hard to prepare for with all the combinations. So there's going to be a lot of improvising.
Yeah, for sure. Overall thoughts, though?
No, I think we hit all of the highlights. I'll turn it back to you guys so you can call the rest of the other 2 races.
Arush, do you have anything else to say before we let Fitz go?
No, just thank you very much, Fitz. GG's again, and looking forward to watching your race in the actual event in a couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for doing comms, and I'm gonna tune in to the rest here.
You want to plug your thing, Fitz, before you go?
Oh yeah, yeah. Gar and I are racing for Randomania 2023 to raise money for NAMI, and our race is Sunday, April 2nd at, I think it's like 9:12 Eastern. We're the last run of the marathon. I'm excited for that. I'll also be running Jets of Time a day before Saturday. That one's at like 5:15 p.m. Eastern. So tell people, always donate if you can, but spread the word regardless, and I'll see you all there.
Yeah, good one. Alright.
Yep.
We're moving on to tier 3 on Sid's side.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nobody War, I believe, is on his last statue boss here, so we'll be stepping on statues, or stepping on buttons pretty soon. Frieza Pass won't pose an issue.
I did see Pinhead take Edgar last time though, so we'll see if anything bad happens here in tier 3.
Shadow Sid does have Golem as well, so does have that that Calmness protection. Hopefully, should be able to work through it. Meteor is doing very nice damage to everybody at once, so talking won't be a problem.
Speaking of useful strategies, that is Quick going off on Celeste which means all the better for what we're doing. That's a very good strategy. I'm really, really excited that we saw it.
Yeah, especially for this part in particular, because the one thing you can actually see looks like Shadow Sid might be trying to do the bug out Terra's morph, and then also if you can knock out the front part and not leave it below 10,000 HP, because that's when it starts to get really nasty. It casts Train, which does a bunch of nasty, irritating status effects. It does Meteo. So once it gets below 10k, you want to knock it out as fast as possible, and Quick really helps there.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna see the bug out morph thing.
Yeah, so the bug which we're talking about, just to clarify, is you saw the morph bar is now empty on Terra /... side. However, it can only unmorph at certain times. So like if the statue ends here, if the battle ends while you're still unmorphed, you can sort of glitch it out. Or if it unmorphs when you're quicked, so it doesn't actually know what to do. It forgets to actually make that check.
Yeah. We are burning a Mega Elixir here because we might be dead. Are we dead? Nope. We're still alive. We're still alive. We gotta. This is a very dangerous spot here, though.
Okay, the point of using Revivify there is the 5,000 health. Hopefully that's enough to get it out of that under 10,000. Oh,
Nope.
It is not. Maybe to burn another one. Because above 10,000 health, it's not super dangerous. Below 10,000 is when it does Meteo and Train and those bad stuff. So when you struggle like this, when it gets off the rails, healing up your opponent is actually a good strategy here, so you can sort of stabilize and get people back up, get back online.
Yeah. Because Tier 3 is really known to be nasty. Yeah, and especially with that train that went off. Okay, we are gonna burn a Mega Elixir. Another one anyway. So we don't want to die. Meanwhile, we're seeing Nobody War take on Tier 1.
And Shadow Sid is just getting all the meteors today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But with 2 Mertens queued up, should be enough to knock out the boss here before you get hit with another.
Yeah, because the first action you do with Quick does not trigger a counter. And now we're moving on to Tier 4.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nobody War is moving on to Tier 2 here.
Ooh, we're getting a muddle on Celeste on Nobody War's side. That's kind of dangerous. Here's that fallen one that you were talking about earlier.
Yep. And there's that immediate use of the Mega Elixir too to cover up.
The end comes beyond chaos.
Oof, and Magic on Nobody War's side manages to get off of life 3, so that's not what you want to see. Life 3 on your opponents.
Yeah, ooh, there goes Celeste. Looking too good at the moment. On Nobody War's side. Surprised that we got Merton and Quick going at the same time. Don't normally have that. Okay. I don't think Kefka's gonna be able to give off Goner though. I think he'll
Yeah.
be dead after this.
Yeah, the nice thing about Quick is that when you're using it, like, you don't have to worry as much about the opponent getting moves because you can get off to attacks very quickly when you're on effectively a pseudo timer here.
And that
And
is
GG's.
a GG's for Shadow Sid. See if we can get him in also for an interview.
All right, so meanwhile, I think Sid might be about to join us, but you can see Nobody War is getting plenty of use out of that Life 3 spell here on Tier 2. Struggling a little bit, but definitely getting guys straight up revived, which really helps.
Here goes Edgar.
Hello.
Hey, we are joined by Sid. GG's.
GG's.
So how was that? I gotta know. How was that Magitech 3?
I really wanted Burton, and I didn't want to do the second boss over again. I was getting pretty stubborn. No, that was actively combative against me. That seed. Yeah, the Dooms just trying to cycle through Phoenix Downs to keep somebody up. And it's like, you know what? Screw it. Celeste, just meteor until you got this. I hope.
Yeah, we saw that. It was like, okay, we're just gonna meteor now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That final meteor though.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
clutch.
good. I knew there was a Doom coming on the other end of that if it didn't kill it.
Yeah, you always gotta think about that.
So part of this, of course, is to be a showcase for the draft and for our upcoming event. What do you think of the overall draft concept? What do you think of how the flags turned out for this particular seed? Overall, big picture thoughts on just the whole draft format and everything.
So I've done draft seeds on this before. Not quite like the blackjack style, And I was kind of expecting what I got, but not quite in the way that it was just twisting the knife for every decision I made.
Yeah, there were definitely some things where you made decisions which made perfect sense at the time, and then we see what's there, and it's like, oh boy, that's not what you want to see.
Yeah, those magics in the basement. Like, okay, well, magic's in the basement. I know that now. Whatever. Magic's an opera house. Okay, we're gonna deal with this now. Or oh, the Air Force. That was the fun one. Like, we're just gonna launch your whole party and then throw some shrapnel. Good luck.
Yeah, we saw that. It was like, wow, rude.
Yeah. I think I looked up the tracker at one point and saw it was. I think I had three, maybe four characters, and 4 magicites, 5 magicites. Not even close to halfway done, and had 18 checks done. I think what is going on with this completely rude checks across the board.
Yeah, and the seed definitely backloaded characters too. Basically, all of you did the same thing. More or less last location, the Kefket Narsh realm, and then there into Esper Mountain. Basically, everybody was on 4 characters until right near the end of the seed, way above 9 Espers.
Yep. And I know my tracker doesn't show it, but I had like 3 different things where I was searching for characters and just reset out. Like Welsh check, Cyan's leader check, and something else.
There was Leet River that you could have done.
Oh yeah, that I'm sure it was full of magic.
We did verify, and I believe they said it was an ice shield.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was Doom into beating Doom for an ice shield.
But was no free lunch on? Did I miss that flag? I think I might have got a magicite at like Mount Zozo, so I didn't think it was on.
Cyan was on the throne, so it definitely wasn't.
No, it just felt like a lot of dead checks on this one. I don't know. Obviously, it could have been navigated better. Because, wow, that 146, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking everybody was going to kind of be breaching that too. I'm looking forward to looking back and seeing what happened. I think it might have just been my stubbornness on Magimaster that cost me a lot of time.
Yeah, so after that, I think, you went to Kefket Narsh a lot earlier than other people did, because we did see a Welk check, and we saw another check that you did, that other people did. We didn't see the other stuff on your screen.
Yeah, and I think you also ran into some a few more dead checks early on. I know
having 3 characters in your party did not help.
Yeah, that was definitely part of it too.
That's, I think, a lot of the big slowdown is everybody else had 4 characters because they got Cyan pretty early.
I didn't feel like taking on the dragons until I had a 4th character. Especially once I got Merton, I felt a little more safe. But I was like, I need to get this magic because everybody's magic sucks.
Yeah, so Cyan was on the throne of Figaro. You could have gotten that in the World of Balance.
Yeah, immediately. Off the bat, could have.
Yeah. But what was your reasoning on that?
Scaling. I just figured it was going to be a magicite. And I was like, I've got Edgar, I'll do the triple whenever I get around to it.
And now you know that it was not in magicite.
Nah. But there sure were a ton of them in Cyan's Nightmare check, huh? That castle was loaded. I didn't need them.
Yeah. Very much.
I thought about resetting out and just doing another check for a magicite instead of the full Nightmare. However, I didn't have any cure spells. So I figured, hey, try to grab a cure. And turns out one of them had Cure 3 on it, and I got that on 2 characters, so that helped a little bit. But boy, that tier climb Didn't care. I was trying to show off the cool little morph quick thing, and it's like, nah, I'm just gonna kill Tara every time she morphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and meanwhile, just to jump in here, Nobody War, GG's to Nobody War as well. The offering fixed dice combo that Goku, you kept asking whether anyone was going to show off. Nobody War basically gave that to Celeste, and Celeste just absolutely
Genji
went nuts
glove.
on
Genji
Kefka.
glove. No, it was double fixed dice Genji glove offering.
Oh, where's the second fixed dice at?
That's what it was. That's what it was. Where was that second pair of fixed dice?
I know offering was in World of Balance in our shop. I made a note of that. I thought about it, but the magic with Merton, just like, whatever. I've got Merton quick.
We are joined by Nobody War. GG's. And
GG's?
where was that second pair of fixed dice at? We gotta know.
It was in a pot, Allbrook, I want to say.
Oh, did not go there.
Yeah. No, I lie. It was in a pot somewhere, though. It was real inconspicuous.
Pulling in, maybe.
I had been egging on the idea of double fixed dice offering. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I should have ran. Anyway, the Kefka and Narsh debacle later. But yeah, as soon as I saw that offering, I should have ran that with the fixed dice and just gone with that straight away. I lost some time. Just too much menuing, trying to figure out what gear to put with who. But yeah, no, this was really fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, so what are your overall thoughts about the draft?
This specific draft, I think it was pretty tame in regards to what it could be. So I think we got off lucky.
The enemy levels were not supposed to be enemy levels; they were supposed to be dragon levels. And,
yeah, I mean, it kind of
the
worked
MP
out.
glitched.
Yeah.
The MP for Magic glitched. It was supposed to be higher than it was.
Oh, okay. It was unnoticeable playing the game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 125 to 175%, so like always higher. What it ended up, what it was actually at was 75 to 125. So there were some spells which were cheaper than they were supposed to be, and nothing which was crazy overpriced.
Yeah.
Got those golden earrings, baby.
Why we're here to test things
Hairpins.
out.
Yeah. That's why we test the bugs before they go live.
I broke the bot quite a few times yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Yeah. So, what are your overall thoughts about having that berserk? How about what's that Magic Master like?
Oh yeah, that was rough. I could have gotten through that the first time if I had a little bit more patience to begin the fight, and I knew I saw Berserk somewhere in that Esper list, and those two didn't have it. So learning that was going to be the only way through there.
Not the only way.
Yeah, so Sid managed to get through there with 3 characters and with Meteor.
Nice.
Brute
Old
force.
school play. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't work out in my favor, I'll tell you.
No.
That was about 20 minutes of attempts.
Yeah, so we saw a clutch Meteor from Celeste ending the fight.
Nice. This felt really fast and really good to me until I finished. I guess it would have been Magitech, and then it wasn't a character, and I'm like, it's at Kefka and Narsh, but I want to do terrorist checks first, and then did terrorist checks and went to go look in Poon Baba's house and was in the character, and I'm like, I'm not doing the river, it's Kefka and Narsh, and there the character was.
And then the
And
character
then she got captured. Yep, and then she got captured. So I had to reset on K&N, and I lost some time there.
Yeah, I have actually seen a captured Kefka Nurse in a while.
I was standing in the wrong spot.
Yeah, at the very start, you were one.
Totally spaced out.
One space.
Oh, it got to the end?
runner-up.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. So nobody word got Rome got captured by the Imperial forces.
That's rough, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Always in hindsight, it wasn't funny when it was happening, but
Yeah.
I can get a good chuckle out of it now.
Yeah. I was like, hey, man, he's got the wrong setup going.
Yeah, I was in that little block above where the little block is, and I'm like, oh, this looks fine. I was picturing it was the lone wolf room, not the lone wolf, the marshal room.
Yeah,
It was the marshal room, and I'm like, oh, these blocks look the same. I'm standing at the right one, right?
Yeah,
No.
I was like, oh, nobody was definitely mixing up, yeah, Kefket Narsh and Moogle Defense.
Yeah, no worries.
But what are your other thoughts about the seed itself? Was it good? Was it?
I had a pretty good time. The drafting was nice. It still has its kinks and things to be worked out, but drafting system works nice. Worked good with just 3 people. This didn't seem too difficult. Pretty sure we all had a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the it seems like the abilities didn't randomize for some reason.
That was part of the draft.
It was supposed to be random unique.
Yeah, so
Well-
we had Runic Celeste and Edgar Jump,
Edgar
but
Jump.
it just so happened we also got Morph Terra and Sortex Cyan and Sketch Realm, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, you know that is a good point. What's the odds of that?
I know, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, so I don't think that was supposed to happen. It's supposed to be random unique. So, well,
Didn't even notice.
Rooster, you have any more questions?
Not on my side. I mean, I think we've covered everything. Does anybody have any last thoughts?
Put those rename cards to good use.
I should have.
Yeah, we saw that and we chuckled at that.
Yeah, I would have pointed it out. I mean, I did.
I mean, you gotta if it's in that sort of situation.
WT ...
And Cyan.
Yep.
He's there too.
WT ...
Yep.
That
All right,
kind
well.
of card.
Yeah, well, thank you, everyone. I mean, thank you guys for letting us comm. Like, it was a lot of fun being on the comms for this. It was a really good race for everyone to watch. Like we mentioned earlier, this was basically a demo of sort of the thought of what it's going to be like in the upcoming Blackjack event. Similar sort of style with the draft format. The signups for that, as we've mentioned several times, start on the 26th and run for a week. So between the 26th, which is this Sunday, to April 2nd, are going to be signups. Then there is 1 week with a single async seed for seeding purposes, which is flagged fairly similar to what the Ultros League is. And then we move into groups, which is the real heart of it, which is going to be the same sort of draft as what you've seen here. Everybody takes a turn, and then the following week, everybody drafts additional flags. So over time, the flag sets just get nuttier and nuttier, wilder and wilder. So definitely, if you're interested, if you're on the fence about signing up, we'd definitely encourage you to do that. You can do that through the Discord, the Worlds Collide Discord. And for myself, this is Zarusta. I really appreciated it. Hope you're all having a good night. Anything else on your side, Goku?
Join the Discord. We do a Twitch broadcast on Thursdays and Saturdays on the Worst Blood channel. And thank you all to the runners and the restreamer and the my co-commentator. Give them all a follow.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.